What's going on, y'all? This is Maes of Quantum Keyhole Studio here with another episode of Maes Method Mondays. Today we're going to be talking about that's right, facial expressions. So if you haven't checked out last week's episode on poses and anatomy, where I talk about the facial breakdown, different types of faces, and anatomy, then I highly recommend checking that out before you watch this. And today we're going to be talking about phonemes, the different mouth shapes, the different ways that your face contorts itself for different expressions. So, pretty self-explanatory. Let's just get right into it. So we've got 10 different expressions here. We've got resting, crying, surprised, happy, angry, intrigued, accomplished, determined, disgusted, and aloof. And I want to break down not just what's happening with the faces, the expressions, but a little bit of the psychology of what's going on as well. So the resting face is just like your plain normal face, very, very straight, no real over-expressiveness, no like real smile, maybe just like a little bit of a smile there, and pretty normal, right? So not much variation in the eyebrows, the eyes, normal look of awareness, it's your basic face. Crying. Now, notice how curved these lines are. Notice the way that they curve, right? This person is just trying to keep it together. You can see that the mouth is turned up at the sides, but there's tension, right? The eyebrows are turned up as well, but you see these tension lines here. And I didn't even draw any tears coming down, like actually crying, because I wanted to show just this expression all by itself. Even without that, you can see this person is feeling pretty bad right now. The surprised. Now, notice the mouth. Notice like the way that the mouth is open right there. Is not as open as if this person was maybe taking a big bite out of something, but the jaw is like hanging down, right? You've got these two lines here, to indicate that the person's jaw is hanging open. The eyes are wide open, and you can see that the eyebrows are arched up here as well. Happy. I wanted to draw all these different kinds of faces, by the way, to show how each of these expressions carries across different types of faces, male, female. We got a child here. Honestly, I started drawing this face and kind of reminds me of Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka. I don't know why. It just kind of turned out that way. And if you want to know the difference between an adult face and a child's face, it's really very simple. It's really one thing, literally one aspect, is the proximity to the midline. So the proximity of the features to the middle, whereas if they were spread out, like when you get older, this happens more, generally more for different people. As you get older, everybody has variation, but basically your features spread outwards, right? And when you're drawing like a baby or a child, they typically have larger features compared to, or larger, eyes and nose and mouth compared to a lot of their face. But yeah, pretty much a lot of it is closed in, so you can see a lot of the features are kind of closed in here. So everything is up, right? So the difference between the happy, the crying, notice the eyebrows. Notice how the eyebrows are up right here. Typically when you have the eyebrows raised up in the middle like that, then I think that person is generally in an optimistic state. But look at surprise, look at angry, look at crying. Crying's upturned, but it's an attempt to get into a positive state, right? It's not, this person's not actually feeling too well. But this person, the eyebrows are raised up, the eyes look very aware, and you've got this natural upturned smile here, the cheeks puffed out. I kind of exaggerated that with this person's face here, because this is a child, they've got slightly kind of rounder cheeks. But yeah, the angry. So look at all the tension right here. Now pay attention to how the brows are going down as well. So boom, boom, and then very straight right here. A lot of tension right here. You have these lines kind of up in this region right here between your eyes. So look at those muscles. That's when somebody is really, really intense. We're feeling really intense. And the eyes are just like, this person just looks very menacing with the eyes. Very straight eyes like that. And some of this is how these people's features are made. I've drawn them in such a way to exaggerate certain things. Like this person's face is very sharp anyways. You may notice that I actually used different facial structures, as I talked about in the previous video. So this person has like a diamond shaped face here, which is like kind of like a triangle face except tapered forehead, like that. And oh, you can see with the mouth here, you can see this person is gritting their teeth like this. This is a really angry expression right here. Just their mouth is barely open and it's just barely showing the teeth there. A lot of tension around there. So, intrigued, a little bit different than surprised. The way that it's different, that this person is still, there's still a little bit of an element of surprise. There's still a little bit of like a ooh, but it's more out of interest, or more out of optimistic interest. And notice the mouth right there, how the mouth is slightly different than surprise. This is more of like a slack-jawed, hanging down, and intrigued is more like that. It's more of an O shape, right? Accomplished. So this and happy are definitely very related. This person's definitely feeling happy right now. The eyebrows are naturally arched. There, just kind of erase that, chop in that eyebrow a little bit. So the eyebrows are naturally arched there, and This person just feels it looks very satisfied with themselves. Like the eyes closed like that, like they're just kind of basking in it right now. Might have just won an award or something like that. And got this natural smile going on. And notice these lines around here too. These corners of the smile, where the cheeks are kind of getting compressed. Determined. This person looks very, very focused right now. Very focused. And the way that this person has such an intense expression, but isn't angry, there aren't those tension lines right there, you see? This person has very straight eyebrows. When the eyes are narrowed like that, then that person is definitely focused, intent on something, right? So the eyes are barely open right there, even a little bit of a smirk. You know, this person just like gonna go out and get it, whatever it is. And the rest is pretty straightforward. You know, in a way they're optimistically kind of resting and focused at the same time. It's like not much happening with the nose, not too much action happening with the eyebrows here, just, you know, rested, but mainly those features right there, the eyes, just, you know, ever so slightly closed, as they're, you know, focused on something, and then a little bit of a smirk. Now this is optional. I just think that this sort of adds to this expression of a little bit of self-satisfaction as well, and, you know, you get the idea. Going to get whatever it is. Now look how contorted this person's face is. It's kind of silly, actually. Like this person just smelled a whole pile of cow poop or something like that, or just saw something really, really nasty. So I've got this really crooked mouth here. It's crooked, just ugh. You know, it's kind of like that type of thing. Some of these tension lines around here, the edges of the eyes, and these lines right here, which even though the angry expression has these aren't quite as pronounced, but there's still that like compression of the face, you know, where this person is also really focused. What it is, that is very different than someone who's being affected by something that, you know, that heightens that disgust factor, right? So you have a lot of these tension lines around here, the edges of the mouth. Even the nostrils are a little bit upturned, you know, like, which is a little bit counterintuitive. I think if you're smelling something, smells really bad, like why would you, you know, widen your nostrils like that? I don't know, but that's definitely a thing. And then aloof. So this person also has just narrowly slit eyes here. Bit of a relaxed, the eyebrows just really relaxed. They look kind of nonchalant, right? They look like they're, you know, at ease with whatever they're doing, or they're, you know, again, pretty self-satisfied, but they're chill. They're not, you know, this person is like very forward focused, going to get it, and this person is trying to project this image of being kind of above what it, you know, their environment or the people that they're around, but they're still a little bit concerned with what people think of them, right? Which is why they're you know, still looking over in this direction, like they're kind of looking away but still looking over here. It's a little bit of a facade going on here, you know, and also a little bit of a smirk on this side. I wanted to have, you know, this side kind of straight, but there's also this sort of hidden self-satisfaction, this kind of not hidden, this kind of thinly veiled self-satisfaction there. Like they want you to, you know, they want to think of themselves as better than other people, but they also want to seem as though they blend in some way, but they're just a little bit a notch above, you know? Or at least they like to think so, like to project so. Alright, now I'll teach you about phonemes, how the mouth actually shapes different sounds. Like when you say the alphabet, you have your mouth makes different shapes. Now, every shape that your mouth can really make can be broken down into the shape made in the alphabet. Your mouth is evolved to be incredibly efficient, that you can make these different sounds with these different expressions. And you may notice here a few different things. For one, we've got the vowels A, E, I, O, U. And I've also got these up here, the sounds that these actually make. So B would be B, E, S, E, D, E. And then over here, F, G, E, H, H. You see what I did here? So there's not just the one mouth shape, there actually is an animation of your mouth. So you're moving to make those sounds, which is why I put different expressions here. So A is the most really open here. Like think about it. Like picture in your mind when someone says A, the way their mouth is shaped, or just do it to yourself. Or one way that you can memorize these or get familiar with these is actually make the sound to yourself, and then like feel your mouth or look in a mirror and see what your mouth is doing, what, you know, shape your mouth is making, what shapes your mouth is making, you know. So then you'll see up here like B, like B is really closed, and then E is more open. It's more open and widespread. It's spread a little bit wider than A, right? Then S, it's kind of like this sound, S, E, D. You got a little bit of your teeth showing, you're a little bit clenched, D, E. Then E, you know, widespread, open, right here. We're a little bit wide, you know, a little bit open, but mostly wide, E. Then F, E. So is really closed, E is more open, right? E. G, G. Your teeth are a little bit clenched. E, then H, A, ch. Open like A, ch. Then I. So this is more open than E, but not quite as widespread as A, right? I, A, like that, you see? Then over here, J, G, again, J, like G, A, K. Think of crunch, compaction, K, A, L, A, oh. And with L, you do a little thing with your tongue. You turn your tongue up a little bit. L, L. And M, E, Your mouth is a little bit closed, you know? It's a little bit compressed. Lips are kind of pursed in. N, N, E, Do a little bit of a thing with your tongue as well, but I think you're showing your teeth a little bit more, and yeah, not as pronounced the tongue as with L. And O, it's shaped, you know, kind of like an O, right? Your mouth kind of makes an O shape. O. Then P. So P and B are interesting. I think they're the only ones that do this. Yeah, P and B are what are called plosives. So so it's pursed. Your mouth is pursed, and it looks like it's about ready to burst the sound out. So think about it. Think about how the sound P comes out of your mouth. Right? E, E. So pursed, and then E, then Q. So again, compacted, oo. So oo is kind of like O, except a little bit more spread out, and a little bit smaller opening, right? Then R, You do a little bit of a thing with the tongue as well. Here, actually, I'll draw that a little bit clearer. R, like pirate. Then S. Again with the S. Like this. T. So teeth compacted. T. E. T. E. U. So again with E, U, U. V. V is kind of interesting because you can see these top teeth here. It's a little bit spread out. V. And W. We've got a few different things going on here, like duh. A little bit, open mouth here. Duh, bull, Again with the tongue. O, U, double U. X, N is kind of like E, like your the corners of your mouth are a little bit more rounded. So X, X, kind of like S right here. X, definitely compressed. Then ooh, I. We got a combination of ooh, not you, ooh, ooh, and I. Y, Y, Y. Z, Z, E, Z, E, Z, E. So not too much animation there. You can see a little bit of the teeth and a little bit of the spread there. Then open mouth a little bit. So, you know, these are all really the shapes that your mouth can make. This is pretty amazing. You can see this across the whole entire alphabet. And you can show these in all the different expressions that you have. You know? Like if someone's really surprised, for example, like they make that O sound. With that O shape, right? If someone's really happy, or someone's really excited, they're like, "Hey! A," right there. Someone's excited, they're like, you know, about to squeal. E! E! Right there. So you can use all of these different shapes to your advantage in your expressions and really make your characters come to life. Thank you for watching. This is Maes with Quantum Keyhole Studio, wishing you Godspeed